Do you ever think that there's got to be more in the tank, but you can't quite figure out what you're missing? Ben Brewster here, co-founder of Tread, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how Tread's remote coaching works and if it's a good fit for your career. So if you're chasing better velocity, command, or you're just trying to get healthy, but you feel overwhelmed by all the information out there, you're not alone. Maybe it's your mechanics, your strength, your size, your mobility, or getting back to your old self prior to an injury. Or maybe you don't even know where to start, but you just know that trying to figure it out on your own isn't working. Look, man, I get it. I spent years in the exact same spot, and I wondered why all the effort and training wasn't translating. I wondered what piece of the puzzle I was missing, and I honestly wondered why it seemed to come so much easier for some guys, especially the ones that didn't seem to work that hard. I didn't have access to great coaching in my hometown, and I didn't know who to believe online, so I ended up deciding to do it the hard way. I consumed every possible piece of information I could find, all while using myself as a guinea pig, as I tried tons of different training systems and philosophies. But even when I would come across something genuinely useful, it was like I only got one piece of the puzzle. And I still had to figure out how all the pieces fit together on my own. Despite a ton of setbacks, I still managed to go from weighing a $150 and throwing 73 to walking onto a Power 5 school, ultimately getting drafted, and throwing over 98 from the left side before my career was derailed by injuries. It's not bad for a kid who could barely make his high school team as a freshman, but it's also not the outcome that I know I could have had if I'd just been able to figure out the puzzle sooner. Looking back, my problem was never effort or work ethic. What I really needed was clarity and making sure that I was working hard on the right things. And while my story does show a glimpse at what's possible, it's really not about me or my business partner Coan, who has a very similar story, or the stories of the dozens of coaches here at Tread. Tread is a continuation of that sole mission of building better, healthier pitchers. It started as a way to take all the lessons that turned me into an upper 90s pro and help other pitchers avoid making the same mistakes that I and we did. Because what I've learned over the last 2 decades is that there is no one perfect drill or exercise or throwing program that works for everyone. The real key is seeing how all the pieces fit together so that you can have confidence knowing that your efforts are focused on the right things that will actually move the needle forward in your career, and not wasting time chasing a fad, a metric, a pitch shape that might help one player, but might actually do more harm than good in your context. And while the science behind it is complex, the process on your end doesn't have to be. So think about this for a second. Wouldn't it be really nice if you woke up each day knowing exactly what you had to do to get better, and having someone trusted in your back pocket to guide you through the process and help you stay on track? And that's what Tread's remote coaching is at its core. Our process is designed to help you squeeze every ounce out of your body, no matter where you are in the world, with an experienced performance team to help you navigate the ups and downs of your career. And even though my career didn't end how I wanted, by far the coolest part is being able to see the real world impact in other players' careers. And as awesome as it is to help the pros we've worked with turn their careers around, it's just as rewarding helping a college guy earn a starting role, transfer to a D1, or land an opportunity to pitch professionally. Antoine Kelly, he was always known as the projectable skinny kid who couldn't gain weight. He gained over 40 pounds in a year, going from 88 to 98 and a second round pick. And Declan Cronin, who went from a college junior fighting for innings to completely reinventing himself and debuting a few years later. Now that's pretty freaking cool. Noah Bryant, 88 to 97 in a year. Rohan Honda, mid 80s to 97 in a year. Luke Thalen, low 90s to touching 100 in a year. Dylan DeBrock, 92 to 97 and conference pitcher of the year. And all these guys were able to hear their names called in the MLB draft. But look, man, I get it. Not everyone's going to get drafted. And maybe you're just looking to win a weekend starting job, add a couple ticks, or clean up your second or third pitch. And there's nothing wrong with that either. And remember, it's always a possibility to work your way into pro baseball by going the free agent route too. That was Daniel Blair. Over several years, he gained 35 pounds, jumping from 88 to 97 while cutting his walk rate nearly in half. Or Jordan Goldman, who went from 87 to 95 in a year with a completely new arsenal. And both of these guys signed out of our pro day. Jacob Coates graduated undrafted, then went from 92 to 98 and signed the next offseason. And take Ryan Lobus. He went from a near 7 ERA in college to signed with an ERA under 3 in AA in his first pro season.
Together, 2-2. Swing and a miss, he got it.
But these guys are just the tip of the iceberg. Since 2015, we've guided thousands of high school, college, and pro pitchers through our system. And at this point, frankly, the results speak for themselves. There are hundreds more stories, so feel free to check those out on the results page or follow along with all the updates we put out each week on socials. So yeah, this stuff works, but it's not magic. It's about having a plan, proper guidance, and doing the work. And to clarify, Tread is not just about gaining velocity above all else, because we could easily just push for a quick velo jump on day one, and you might gain a tick or two in the short term. But really think about this for a second. What happens if your body isn't ready for that stress? When you don't have a plan for blending it to the mound, or when you get into that first 3-2 count of the season and realize that you don't have total confidence in your third or fourth pitch, so you groove a fastball down the middle. What really matters is sustainability. And this means improving velocity in a way that prioritizes health and holds up in games under pressure for years to come. That's what makes Tread unique. We're not here to dangle a quick velo transformation in front of you and cross our fingers that you can stay healthy and perform. Our focus is on positioning you to have long-term success. and it should be yours too. So you're probably wondering, how does Tread's remote coaching actually work? What if I'm already doing a program with my team, or I want to come train in person? Let's go through each of those one by one. So when it comes down to it, we're here to help deliver 3 key outcomes: staying healthy, developing better stuff, and getting outs. That's it. If we can help you do those consistently, there's a good chance you'll be playing baseball for a long time. To do this, we look at every variable: throwing volume and intensity, to strength, mobility, mechanics, nutrition, and more. All of these feed into those 3 outputs. So one analogy I use, you can think of your body like a race car. The guys that I mentioned, well, they didn't just focus on one thing. We helped them upgrade every part of their race car: the engine, the body, the tires, the fluids, everything. And that's really how we approach your preparation. Our job is to understand how your body uniquely works so that we can give it the right input at the right time. And when you have clear goals and we can control the right inputs, that's when progress follows. So here's how it works. Once you sign up and join our community of Tread athletes, we'll pair you with one of our performance coaches who we feel best fits with your specific training goals and situation.
These are guys who live and breathe pitching and have years of experience in the trenches working one-on-one with guys like you. You've already seen many of these guys in action in our videos and across our socials.
Then you'll complete a head-to-toe remote assessment covering everything from your mobility to your biomechanics to your pitch data, nutrition, mental approach, and more. From that, we can build you a custom performance profile based on any and all strengths, deficiencies, and preferences that we find. And if this sounds overwhelming, just keep in mind, it's not about trying to solve 100 issues at once. We're able to prioritize the most immediate underlying issues first so that you have a clear and simple game plan from day one. And as we meet these training benchmarks and goals, we then can set our sights on downstream issues from there. This entire process is designed to be as comprehensive as possible on our end so that we can make sure it's as simple as possible on your end. Each day you'll open the Tread app and see your plan for the day. You'll have throwing, lifting, mobility, recovery, and nutrition, and these will all be mapped out for you. So you'll have sets, reps, and instructional videos for every single facet of your program. You'll log your results, upload training videos, and stay in regular contact with your coach over messaging, phone, and video calls so that we can keep things dialed in. The goal is to compile as much information as possible on a weekly basis so that we can evaluate how you're actually adapting to our process. And this is the other big key. Anyone can put you through a movement screen and write you a program. But honestly, this is just a best guess based on one snapshot in time. The reality is that your body will be constantly adapting. It's our job to problem solve and consistently tailor these routines to you over time based on how you're actually responding to them. This means identifying what's moving the needle and progressing those components, as well as making adjustments and pivoting to new solutions if you stop progressing. Because as any coach will admit, there's always going to be plateaus along the way. This is why, to us, communication and problem solving are the most important parts of our process. And because we've already collected data across thousands of pitchers, we've probably helped a guy with similar issues, making us better equipped to pivot and provide solutions to get you back on track. Whether this means steering around an in-season drop in command, a weight gain plateau, a rehab setback, a mechanical block, or really anything else that comes up. Plus, you'll have access to our sports medicine staff if you're working back from an injury, our data analytics team to run custom in-season reports, and a strength and conditioning staff to filter any additional training questions as they come up. It's kind of like having an entire performance team in your pocket, but instead of top athletes who are spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars for a team of people, we've taken this all-in-one model and made it accessible to the baseball world. And if your situation does change and you wind up with a different team or school, our goal is to provide consistency and continuity through those changes so that you're prepared no matter what the future brings. And that's why we have athletes who continue to train with us for 4, 5, 6 years and counting. We don't view your experience with us as having a defined endpoint. Our job is to be an indispensable resource, not just for today or this year, but for the rest of your career. You'll also have the option to visit our 33,000 square foot headquarters to throw in our pitching lab and train in an environment where everyone here is chasing after the same goals and really pushing each other to be better. Plus, our annual transfer portal showcase, which is just for Tread athletes, streamlines the transfer process to ensure that your video and data is directly in the hands of development-friendly coaches so that you can find a better fit school for the fall or transfer up a level, as many of our players go on to do. That being said, many athletes train entirely remote or check in just once or twice a year. So coming in-house, it's more of a bonus, it's not a requirement. Look, man, you already know this, but there are no guarantees in this game. We obviously can't show up for you, we can't make you want it, and we can't change the reality that the game is more competitive than it's ever been. The honest truth is that you might do everything right. You might improve your velo, you might get healthy, we might help you throw more strikes, and you might still fail because you simply run out of time. In my career, I gave everything I had, but the reality is that I just figured it out too late. But we can give you the clearest path forward. We can pass along the guidance and the support that we wish we'd had throughout our careers. And that's fundamentally why we built Tread. Our job is to give your career the best chance at success and to walk it with you every step of the way. At the end of the day, all of us, whether we play in the big leagues for 10 years or not, we share a common underlying goal. Because we're all going to have to take off the uniform one last time, and all of us will have to look ourselves in the mirror. we're going to have to face the same question. Did I give it everything I had? So whether you're looking to become your team's Friday guy, get drafted, transfer up a level, or work back from an injury, we're here to help you answer that question. If that sounds like the kind of support you're looking for, click the button below to fill out a short application so that we can learn more about you, after which you'll have the opportunity to schedule a call. We'll dive into your goals, your situation, and whether we're the right fit to help. Let's get to work.